Big breaking news developing today, originally reported by PWI Insider. We have learned that a former WWE Women's Champion could be returning to WWE in a huge way. If you're a longtime fan, you will know the name. What do you think of this news? We have it up now at WrestleZone.com. Of course, PWI Insider broke the story earlier today. Melina Perez, formerly a two-time WWE Divas Champion, a three-time WWE Women's Champion, is reportedly returning to WWE following the expiration of her deal with the NWA. Multiple sources have confirmed the report to PWI Insider, who states the legend will return to television within the next week. Melina is 41. She's been away from the company for a significant period of time. She first signed with them in 2004, worked with Eminem as a tag team. They were successful, brought them to the tag team gold. And of course, she went on to a successful singles run in her own right, feuded with Michelle McCool, Jillian Hall, Natalia. She was released from the company in 2001, returned to the independents in 2015, and more recently has been appearing on NWA Power. So what do you think of this news? Melina returning to the WWE. This is a big story. Get your comments on screen right now. Let me know what you think of this. This is an interesting choice for WWE to choose. I think this is also a sign of the evolution and greater acceptance of women in wrestling, in the presentation of it. WWE, this isn't just, some women are only on for 5 minutes. Those days are gone. We are well into the evolution and full presentation of women as prominent characters. Mickie James was featured recently this past Monday on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, that's a weird situation, the way that match ended with Asuka, but I like the idea that it's not just, and this isn't like an age comment, but I like the idea that women who are in their 30s and nearing 40 or past it can be in WWE and play a role and add to the storylines and bring something to it. I think this is a great move. This is somebody who can cut promos. This is somebody who knows how to get a crowd reaction. And obviously, this is somebody who can wrestle. Last week at Cena, she wrestled a handful of times, did some things with NWA, but it was very sparingly. I'm very interested in what this could be. So, yeah, a lot of people want to see Melina versus Sasha Banks. Kevin Charles is texting that in here. And Timmy Land is saying she's the greatest female diva back in the day. Should be Bayley for the title. Oh, wow. So a lot of people with different takes here. People want to see her versus Ronda Rousey. Oh, I have some Ronda Rousey news today. We didn't plan on doing a show today, but I just popped in here with this breaking news. I thought it was worth it. Do want to tell you, if you're watching this, we're going to have a lot more fun, and we're going to do it exclusively over on YouTube, not just on Facebook, just on YouTube tonight. You're watching SmackDown. You just want to hop in, chime in, keep it loosey-goosey with me, Kev Kellam. You can do that. How about that? Join us over on our YouTube watch-along of SmackDown tonight. That starts at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. When the show starts, just put us on. Maybe put us on your phone. You have it on the screen. 2-screen experience. We're your buddy on the other screen. All right, so what do you guys think of this breaking news? The idea of Melina coming back to WWE. Terrell Diggs, big fan of the channel. Thank you so much. Melina returning to WWE, and Ronda Rousey return to WWE as well. So should we get into the Ronda Rousey news? Yeah, people saying this is big news. They want to see Melina versus Charlotte. Yeah, this does create a bunch of new matchups for WWE. And with the women, I think dream matchups are something they still think about here. Some people messaging us who are currently in the Thunderdome waiting for the broadcast. So it'll definitely people want to see Melina versus Dave Bautista. Come on now, man. We got people texting from the Philippines. Thank you so much for checking in. Hope you guys are doing well out there. People want to see Melina versus Asuka. Wow. So a lot of people into this news here. So let's get into this Ronda Rousey. Someone's saying, when is Ronda Rousey coming back here? So what I can tell you about Ronda Rousey is she responded to a tweet, and it was simply a tweet about a match that she had with Natalia on her first run. And she responded with how much she liked that match and how she looks forward to a big rematch in the future. So, some people have put into doubt whether or not we would ever see Ronda Rousey back in a WWE ring. Last time we saw her was just about a year and a half ago in the main event of WrestleMania in 2019. It was sort of a roll-up finish, and she claims her shoulder is up. She said that. She did have an injured wrist in that match. There was much speculation that she was going to leave WWE to go and have a child, though she was very angry about that speculation. She didn't feel that was anyone else's business, and she expressed that. WWE had publicly stated to WrestleZone and multiple media sources that she was still under contract until a certain period of time. Now, whether or not there's rollover time on that deal, I don't know. Whether or not it's a date-based contract, it's only based on how many dates she's working, I don't know. But I mean, let's be frank, Ronda Rousey had that rarefied Brock Lesnar status where you would really only see her on big events. And she would be on a handful of big live events outside of television. She'd be on television shows, and you would really, really only see her wrestle on pay-per-view. She did a handful of times on television. She was an attraction, and a special one at that, and was treated as such, and definitely brought WWE a lot of mainstream appeal. Her coming back right now, I would be very, very surprised by. I've said this before on our podcast. You can subscribe to it. WrestleZone, we're on Apple, we're on podcasts, and we also do it here on Facebook and YouTube. That I think she is one of those attractions that will be saved for when fans can come back, hopefully at some point in 2021. All right, so let's get into more comments here. A lot of women's wrestling news today. Obviously, Melina coming back, and the idea that Ronda Rousey expresses that some big rematch is going to happen. She tweeted it. It's obviously going to create a lot of speculation, but it'll open up the doors for a lot of people thinking that she's going to come back here into wrestling. If you're just joining us, I'm Kev Kellam. You can follow me on Twitter at Kev Kellam. Of course, follow WrestleZone as well and all the fun stuff we're doing. You can check us out on all of our different podcast channels and all the fun things we're doing there. And once again, tonight we will be live during SmackDown. You can join us for a live watch along. Trying to kick up some subscribers on the old YouTube. So if you don't subscribe to us on YouTube or you don't watch our stuff on YouTube, we will have that watch along exclusively tonight on YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. So a lot of people want to bring up this one. Hearing that the NXT TakeOver will air from the Thunderdome. Is it true? I ain't missing it. We don't know anything about that. That is pure speculation. We've heard that as well. But there's nothing in terms of a real verified source that we could pin that story on and say, yeah, we're going to report that. And the guys at WrestleZone are saying that's going to happen. I can't say that's going to happen right now. I wish I could, but I can't say it's going to happen right now. Sorry. I don't know if that disappoints some people, but that's where we're at. Let's get into more questions. If you guys got a couple more questions, go ahead and fire them off about anything going on in the world of wrestling. This is a random Q&A. We had some breaking news today, so I felt I had to get on the cam. I had to get the ring light lit up for you and get your questions firing off here. Go ahead and think about shooting these off. Of course, a lot of questions here about what's going to happen with Melina when she comes back to WWE. How is she going to play into this whole picture? Obviously, there's going to be some people she's familiar with and some people she's going to have a very new relationship with. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, smash like and subscribe. How about that? Go ahead and do that if you can. A couple more questions. People want to know, when is Ronda Rousey coming back? We don't know. As I mentioned, I think that'll be something that is saved for when live fans can come back. I do think Royal Rumble time would be a great time to bring her back because that's kind of when she debuted, but she didn't actually get in the match there. All right, so let's get into some more questions here. This one from big fan of the show, big comment here, Jay Feliciano, a man who knows quite a bit about the WWE. Think Melina uses the old Eminem music for the classic leg split when she gets into the apron. The leg split entrance was kind of scandalous back in the day when she was doing the mid 2000s, and I knew many a fan that enjoyed that. Obviously, I'm not trying to be a creep, but it would be interesting. I also think a lot of female fans would love to see that too. It was very impressive when that happened. I think a lot of people like to do it. Charlotte doing a little bit of that too, doesn't she? Charlotte was doing like a leg split under the ropes when she would do an entrance. I don't know if she does it anymore. Does she still do that? So definitely join us in the channel. All the different ways you can follow the show on the podcast, on the YouTube. I know, plug. Oh, here we go. Eric Big Grizz Billups, big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you you've been behind the podcast or YouTube or Facebook. I've seen you everywhere, Eric. Thank you so much. He goes, hey, Kev, missed you, buddy. Do you think NXT should stay on Tuesdays? They do good numbers on that day. It's an interesting take here. I've been addressing this for the past couple of weeks. I enjoy all wrestling. I don't have a bias. I think there's too many people in wrestling media that have a very activated bias, and they have a preference towards AEW doing well on that night. And they just want the new brand to break. That's just a whole other comment. But even with that bias, I selfishly would love to be able to watch both shows separate from each other and kind of process them as themselves and not process them with this kind of different magnifying glass that is, what is AEW doing? What is WWE not doing? Obviously, I don't think those brands exactly operate like that themselves, but fans see it that way. And you and I watch it that way too, whether you want to or not, especially if you're a hardcore fan and you're aware of both. So for me, I would love to be able to watch them on two separate nights, but I understand why it isn't happening. And this is me putting the media hat on now and working in media outside of wrestling. AEW did about 1.16 million overnight viewers that Wednesday night, not this week, but the week prior that they were unopposed. WWE did significantly more, about 250,000 more viewers. And I think if they stayed on their own night, they would eventually crack 1 million. I do think that. So why not do that? I think it's because AEW is a very significant brand. When you have Raw ratings down and they waver, SmackDown ratings are steady and very strong. It's the most watched show in wrestling, and it performs well on Friday nights for Fox right now, better than people think. People shout out to my second favorite WKQX DJ. Come on, man. Your second favorite? How am I not your favorite? But on this NXT question, I think NXT is being pivoted to keep the AEW brand from growing at an exponential rate. It's being used as a defense, not as an offense, a defense. I think NXT is great. I think people they're critical of it in a way that's unfair. I think I would like to see NXT in the Thunderdome. I think that would be interesting. When you have the Thunderdome now, the presentation of it's kind of settling in. I think you would get a different look of people on those screens that you have from Raw and SmackDown. It would feel the same though. So then there is that complaint of, well, if you put it in the Thunderdome, is it just like Raw and SmackDown then? It does need some aesthetic buildup. I think if you could feel something bigger, if I was NXT, I'd want it in an amphitheater, like Daly's Place or something like that. That's fine. And everyone's going to say it's copying, but whatever. I enjoy the competition. It is exciting, but I am worn out by it because I think so many people are biased. They want to see the big guy go down. Or they want to see Tony Khan's $1 billion project get crushed or something like that. It's just that bickering is, I'm worn out on that. That's just my take. Tell me what you think. All right, here. Been a longtime fan since I was 15 years old. Oh, man. Hell yeah, Ken. I love the longtime fans. Thanks for sticking around here with wrestling, man. Noel Orlando Roland. I'm hoping Triple H can save Ricochet and Andrade from Vince McMahon burying them. Oh, they're buried. Oh, Andrade was buried by being on national TV this week, and Ricochet was buried by being on national TV this week. Why does everyone misuse the word buried? You don't know what it means anymore. And Ricochet is not leaving the WWE. You already put that out there. Andrade, I don't think he's going to leave the WWE. I'll take those takes and I'll dunk on him. right away. All right. So thank you guys so much for checking out this random pop-up stream we did on a Friday. Once again, if you like this, join us over on our live watch along tonight. Maybe you're going to be watching a little bit of SmackDown. Maybe you watch SmackDown on a Saturday. Well, you put the watch along on with us. You sync it up, click play, and boom, we ride through the whole show with you. So go ahead and do that. That's going to be exclusively over on SmackDown tonight, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right when SmackDown starts, we'll be on a few minutes before that. And join us for it. It'll be really cool. Your comments will be on screen here just like they are now. Some people telling us the Thunderdome is interesting. We're going to have our own Thunder Zone. How about that? Live in the Thunder Zone. All right. So definitely here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Daniel Bryan is not going to AEW. I don't see that happening. Sorry, guys. I know everyone wants to someone's going to jump. I'll do a comment about what's going on with SmackDown tonight. Betsy Rosario saying, my guess is the next pay-per-view is that Jey Uso will get help from his brother Jimmy. What do you think? Well, Betsy, that's an interesting take. I'm actually really intrigued by the storyline that they're doing on SmackDown. I think this is one of the better ones that have come up the past few weeks since the last pay-per-view building to this one. I thought Jey Uso was a very interesting choice for Roman Reigns to really sink in that he's evil. He's no longer the big dog you love, but the big dog you're supposed to despise. But then the people that hated him because they thought he was shoved down their throat now love the big dog. Oh, man. So, using his family, the bloodline, using his family, his cousins here, practically his brothers, to do this match with is very intriguing. And last week we had Roman show up super late for a main event tag team match where he's supposed to be with his brother Jimmy on the shelf with an injury. So he's supposed to be there for his brother Jay, the man who's going to fight for the title, the upcoming Clash of the Champions. He's going to defend this title. He just kind of came in and won. He won it, but he showed up late and won a title. It's weird. This isn't like the full force work hard big dog. This is the coming, spear up the scraps big dog. And he did the exact same thing last week. And we're going to have a Samoan street fight with Jey Uso, Roman Reigns versus Sheamus and King Baron Corbin. And something makes me think Jey Uso is going to get destroyed in this thing. So we'll see what happens here. Thank you guys so much for supporting it. Yes, join me in the Thunder Zone. Tonight we will be streaming live a watch along party. It will be only on YouTube. We're trying to really beef up our YouTube channel. So if you don't join us on there, it's on you, dude. You have access to YouTube. Go ahead and do it. And you'll get your comments on screen like this the whole time. And I'll be there with you. And it's free. It's not a Patreon Plus. It's not, you don't have to pay any extra money for it. That all of our content, by the way, is free. All of it. All of our content is free. So, and that is no shot to anyone, just Patreon. That's just the way we're operating it. And some people seem to respond to that. I've had a lot of people say that. Debbie Dingle, is it true Triple H is leaving? I've heard nothing of that, Debbie. I've heard nothing of Triple H leaving WWE. Absolutely nothing. People saying, thank you for getting my comment on screen. No, thank you for watching, man. I have no problem getting your comments on screen and interacting with you guys. Everyone has a say. Everyone can be a wrestling fan. It's not just dudes that look like me and wear Daniel Bryan t-shirts and wear denim jackets. It can be 15-year-old kids. It can be 80-year-old grandmothers. It can be the mom who has a kid who loves wrestling. Everybody is welcome at the virtual couch of WrestleZone. All right. So thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Go ahead and subscribe as well. Make sure if you're following us on YouTube, on Facebook, that your notifications are on. So you like us. With YouTube, it's weird. You subscribe and you have to turn your notifications on. So you get the ding when we go live, right? With Facebook, you have to like and then follow our page. It's like another hoop so that you get notifications when we go live there as well, or just watch everything on demand or get it in your ears. Okay, so we podcast all the audio as well. We won't podcast this, so this is just a little bonus pop-up show for you. Thank you so much. Just want to do something random because you guys are great and you support the show. Thank you so much for supporting everything that we do here at WrestleZone. For everything WrestleZone, go to the website,